on this fine episode tonight. We talk about my crippling insecurities, my abandonment issues, the next single, the EP, and what it's like to be so good looking. Tune in.
Let's do this. Zach Show.
Aidan Alexander's here.
Yes.
Dan's here too. Let's go.
Zach's here as well.
I am. Yeah, I'm here.
That was the weirdest intro we've ever done.
I know.
Oh, and I was like, this is really fun and exciting for me. I'm like, do I clap with myself?
Yeah,
or-
you always clap for yourself.
Okay, noted.
You grew up in Boise, Idaho?
I did, yeah.
When did you come here? How long ago did you get to LA?
I came here when I was like 15, I think, 15 or so. And I was originally acting, so I came out and I was auditioning. I was on set. But yeah, I've always been singing, so it was like it's something that I wanted to do forever. So
How'd you know it was time? Like, what was was it the movie? Was it Red Wings?
no, it was actually my first audition. Red Wing was, and then it was like the craziest experience. I think when you book like your first thing, it sets this precedent that like everything is gonna go that way. Let me tell you.
And you started pretty strong. It was a Golden Globe nominated movie.
Oh yeah, and it was a really cool experience. But I think that I was working on the music for a while prior, so I kind of just was like, when you have something you're really proud of and you've been sitting on it for so long, eventually you just have to,
Get it out
you
there.
want other people to hear it.
But-
So I think that's when I knew it was time.
Let's go back to you hoping, or at least in that moment thinking that every other experience after Red Wing would be like Red Wing. Were you kind of set up for that? Did you think it would be a bigger boost in the movie world?
No. It was nothing like that. It was my first audition ever. I just, not even the success of the movie itself, but just, it was my first audition. Like I went in, I was like, I don't know what
You're doing.
I'm doing.
Why am I here?
Do I hand you this photo of myself? And then, I got it. If anything, moving from Idaho, it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm like one of the other 20 million people coming in and out of LA trying to book something. So it was nice to at least have like a little nod, that was like, okay, like you're doing okay, you're not everyone who's coming here.
You have something going on.
Yeah, and it sounds a little arrogant, but it was just like, I'm very quick to doubt everything I do, so it was a nice little pat on the back. But
I understand that. I understand the self-doubt, and I want to, because you're always your worst critic, right?
oh, absolutely, yeah.
I wonder always why you're your worst critic. I mean, maybe it's because you know what you can do.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually was thinking about this the other day. Hypothetically, if I do something and I'm like, oh my God, that was can I swear? I'm sorry, this might be too late. This is I'm like, this is the worst thing you could have done. You're so dumb. And then like if my friend were to do the same thing, I'd be like, oh, it's fine. Like it's really not that big of a deal. Especially growing up, there would be little things that I would like not like about myself, whether it was always something dumb, like the way I like laughed, or something dumb that teenagers hate about themselves and you kind of get over. And I was thinking, like, what is it about it that I don't like? And it was just more so that it was mine, like it was my laugh, and that's why and it just comes from such a like deep-rooted place of like being unsure about yourself. And so I think that Red Wing was a nice start, and it was also cool just because as you get older, you kind of realize these things that you felt when you were younger are actually not as big of deals as you thought they were, which
You evolve.
yeah, you evolve.
But the self-doubt sometimes can take on new forms.
Oh, absolutely. I'm probably still finding them, little manifestations of the self-doubt. Yeah, no, I think it can definitely take on different forms. It's all about keeping yourself in check,
Truth. Music. I want to dive in, but like I'm so fascinated by who you are and how you got to the place that you're at right now, which is almost 1 million followers on Instagram, super popular there. Your tweets are funny.
You are
you.
hilarious on Twitter.
Thank you so much. Thanks. It's like,
It's so 2019 to say, you know?
oh yeah, thank you
You're
for my the Twitter compliment.
You're
yeah.
funny only through Twitter.
Oh,
from what
I
I've been able to
completely
tell so far.
agree. It's because I have a lot more time to string one sentence together. Yeah,
It's not
it's just way easier for me.
no
yeah.
quickness, many proofreading.
Oh
But-
yeah, absolutely.
But we did get multiple people reaching out to us on social media asking for you to come in, and
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with
Oh, they
you.
were
at-
all my accounts. They were just me tweeting.
Okay.
No. That's amazing. Thanks, guys. Because here we are.
Yeah.
It's how the world works.
But wait, why you? Like, why did all these people want
Why
you?
me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that it's really important for me to say things that I don't want to. I know that it's very important for me to just know that what I'm saying is actually the truth. I think it's so easy to like get wrapped up in what you think you should say or what you think you should sound like. And I think that especially in my music, a big thing for me was just I want to just be able to talk about the things I want to talk about, you know, because there's so many people trying to break into the music scene or in whatever industry you're in, you know. And I think the thing that really sets you apart is, and it sounds so corny, but like being yourself, being an individual. And I think that self-doubt, another way that I've kind of seen that, it can be so scary to be yourself because you're completely unsure about yourself. You're like, oh no, what if everyone around me sees what I see? So like, I think, I guess I'm kind of going on a tangent, but I guess
No.
I think that, I think it was important for me to like show other people that it's all right to be vulnerable. It's all right to be unsure about yourself, but still put yourself out there. And that can be one of the scariest things to do.
But it's showing all aspects of yourself and being totally transparent.
Right.
No matter what
exactly.
it is. And I think that's what people understand and relate to, right? And that's how you build a real relationship with anybody.
That's what I think. I think that as well.
The only way is to be yourself 100% and to share.
Well, so many
Most of
people
it.
just can find themselves in what you're saying and what you're writing and what you're singing, what you're talking about. And I think that that's always been the most important thing to me, you know? Growing up in Idaho, everything was very quiet. I say that all the time, but that's just the only... If you asked me how to describe it, it would just be like in those Western movies when you see one of those little...
Tumbleweeds.
whipping on by, you know? It's just... If you're not talking, then there will just be no noise, always. It's... So growing up, it was a lot of me writing in this house and being by myself and writing and reading all these books and writing. So with my music, that's, you know, the most important thing to me is just being able to write things that other people can find themselves in, and other people who think very intensely about things and might overthink and, you know, dive deeper than needed. You know, I think that I try to at least be there for people who, you know, have felt the same way that I felt, you know? So that's, I guess why.
Boise, Idaho, growing up there, you're talking about it being quiet and you seek like a relationship and books and kind of thinking and kind of falling into yourself almost?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was very important for me to see the outside world in any way I could, you know? And in Idaho, it's like, it's pretty sheltered, you know? You don't hear anything about it, really. So my way of doing that was like going on Amazon and ordering these R-rated movies my mom wouldn't let me watch, and like watching them upstairs on the VHS player because we had this like massive TV up there that was my TV. And like, anyway.
You seem so accomplished after you let us know
I'm
that you
like,
had your
thank
own
you
TV.
so, if you want to clap, it's thank you so much.
It is a big thing to have your own TV.
Oh, well, it was there when I was born, which is why I had a VHS player. But no, that was just like, that was my like window to see everything else, you know, was movies and books. That's how I learned about all these crazy things that I was like either too afraid to ask about, or I just was too young to really have experienced yet. I've always just wanted to know everything, you know.
But then the internet hits.
And it's game over for all Gen Zers. There's no sheltering anymore.
Well, because you're an introvert and then you kind of, in a weird way, do you remain an introvert when you're
I
on
feel like
Vine?
I feel like I was an introvert almost just situationally because, you know, there wasn't people I necessarily wanted to engage with. It was all these boys playing lacrosse or whatever.
Jocks and stuff.
Or people like doing crack in a barn somewhere. Like I just was like one or the other and I didn't care. So I think when I came to California and my mom lived in New York forever, so growing up I'd spend some time in New York and just seeing everybody, you know, and seeing just the culture and seeing other people and seeing just being exposed to other things was like it was a total culture shock at times, but I think it was great for my writing.
How'd you end up in Boise?
So my mom, well, my grandpa, my extended family, they all are from there. My mom went to Manhattan when she was like 17 or something.
Cool.
And lived there forever. Met my dad there, and so now it's just kind of like New York exists in like a vacuum to me. Like every time I'm in New York, I just feel like I'm away from everything just because growing up it was like where me and my mom would go and it'd be so nice and there'd be like pretty breakfasts in the park, you know? So so I gotta see the world in other ways, but you know, the majority of it's just being exposed to it myself.
So you go, I understand that, right? You're in the Boise bubble. When you go, you see the best parts of New York, only like what a vacation or tourist would see. But the internet allows you to have access to culture and the people that you didn't want to hang with, you know, either doing crack in a barn or being jocks.
We love them.
You now have a whole new set of friends, and that's the internet.
Yeah, and I think that's why it draws people in. You know, it's a haven to meet other people who like the exact same thing as you. You know, it's so interconnected that there's no going wrong. If you know, it goes down to the most oddly specific thing. You can find somebody out there who likes the exact same thing as you.
No matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
And
yeah.
how small you may think it is.
Sometimes I'll get DMs and I'm like, people like that? That is so disgusting. And then I'm like, I'm sure this person could find someone equally as disgusting somewhere else on the internet, you know?
Like what?
Yeah, what
does
kind of
it
DMs are they sending you? Like
it's mostly just like feet stuff or other things. But if I can't swear on this show, then I definitely cannot talk about
you can.
the
I mean,
DMs.
you can
I'll-
get
I'll-
you can
I'll-
get a little dirty, just maybe can't say the F word.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I would just say they're all very suggestive. They're either offering me money for things.
Okay.
I got one. It was pretty good the other day about my underwear, and they were willing to buy it.
You get this on the daily, right?
Well, people don't ask for my underwear on the daily, or I would have way more money than I do. But
Has there ever been a thought where you're like, maybe I should?
where I would sell my used underwear, no, I haven't hit rock bottom yet. I think that there's still a few more days left to sell my underwear.
The second interview in a row we've been talking about used underwear.
know. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
It's weird. Wait, but
No, next time I'm on, I'll be like, oh, guys, I did it. I sold them. I'm not wearing any anymore.
we'll have a cake for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I will definitely need it if I'm at a point where I'm selling my underwear.
Hey, beautiful human. I've been telling you about this app called Robinhood. I'm going to tell you about it again in case you don't know. Let me read you something. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission free, while other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade. Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all your profits. Daddy Warbucks. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit. You don't need that to get started. You can start at any level. It's awesome. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place trades in just 4 taps of your smartphone. You can also view stock collections, such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood has given listeners of the Zach Sang Show, that is you, a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help start building your portfolio. Sign up at zachsang.robinhood.com. Now back to the interview. Before we dive in deep into music, because I really do want to get into your process and your writing, and the songs are they're great records.
Thank you.
You start on the internet, in addition to obviously acting, you start doing Vines, right?
Oh, like It's barely. I
They
feel
were
like
funny, dude. I watched some today.
Thanks.
I laughed out loud.
I deleted them all because they were like horrendous.
People
you know?
found them.
Oh, they did. I was on YouTube and there's like a Vine compilation of these terrible videos of me.
I thought you were so funny.
I appreciate that. I don't believe you. But
I swear. I wouldn't have brought it up. And another compliment
I'm
for
like
you.
sweating now. I'm like, oh God, if you play.
No, another compliment is your landslide cover quality.
Oh wow, thanks. Yeah, that was like the 15th. That was a few days ago.
Really superb. I judged.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie. I judged somebody's vocal ability on their cover of Landslide. I hold that song to such a high standard.
That
yes.
really means a lot to me to hear. I was very, very nervous going into that. That was my first live show. I'd done like press performances and stuff like that, but it was my first show in front of people that like fans could come. You know.
When you're up there, are you thinking about them, or are you just in your head?
It's funny. You go up there and it's like you slip into a coma. Like I don't remember a single thing.
Just black out.
Wow.
I remember telling them that I feel sweaty.
Were you
That's all.
sweaty?
Was I sweaty?
Did
They're shaking their head. Yes, I was sweaty.
you sweat through a couple shirts?
No, I was actually just wearing I think like a white t-shirt. I didn't sweat too much at all. Actually, it was just mostly my face. It didn't saturate the clothes.
Got it.
Luckily.
Thank God.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, guys. We talked about sweat. I'm ready to.
You can leave now.
Yeah.
Wait, so from Vine to, I mean, would you consider yourself an Instagram model?
I would be very complimented if someone told me that.
Yeah.
Model. I've never thought of myself as like a model in any capacity. So Instagram model just feels like. I mean,
That's how I first heard of you.
as an Instagram model.
Yes.
That's incredible. I love that. That's my identifier. No, I wouldn't consider. I feel like I'm not good enough at it to be. It's like everything's spaced out by like 8 days. My team's always like, "You have not posted. Are you still living?" I'm like, no.
I'm dead.
Yeah, I died. Yeah, no. It's also just so much pressure. You know, like I'll get a comment, like one comment. It's like, I think actually this is like so embarrassing. I don't know why this was such a dig to me. Somebody commented and told me I look like a sim. And I lost it. Like I was like, every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, holy crap, I'm a sim. I still think about it sometimes.
You're not a sim.
Thank you.
You're a beautiful human, and
I'm just fishing at this point. I'm like, tell me I don't look like the sim.
and know that like there are really beautiful sims out there.
Every
And all
sim
the
I
sims are
had, I like
different.
built walls around, and so they would.
Die and oh my God, that's really dark.
I just
dude.
wanted to see what would happen. I knew it wasn't real.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so yeah, the comments are really a lot for me sometimes. So that's why I don't consider myself an Instagram model. Also, I only look good from 3 angles, so it doesn't help my
What are
case.
the angles?
Here and then the back of my head. So just 2. No, I don't know. To answer your question, I don't think so.
But do you get, because like really all your posts are so beautifully photographed, like the pressure attached to it.
Thank you. I do sometimes think like, oh, I can't downgrade to this photo because this one is really cute, you know?
You've set
I
the
think
bar
that it's
so
officially
high.
got to me. I think that's what me saying this means.
Welcome.
Thank you to the dark side, yeah.
Really? No, you also realize, realization is the first step to almost anything.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You feel me?
I'm like sweating again, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel you.
But
I'm like thinking about me being an Instagram model, and then I'm thinking about my old Vines, then I'm thinking about me sweating. I'm like,
why do you think you amassed this big following?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I'm happy that I did. I love talking to everyone, and I think I truly don't know what I would do if I couldn't like wake up and say hello to some random person in like China who's trying to say hey to me, or like tell someone that I'm not selling them my underwear. Like just it's so cool to have the opportunity to even do that. Like growing up, I'm completely derailing away from that question because I don't know how to answer it. Growing up, like I would make a Facebook account and I would like add these random kids, and it's so sad to think about in retrospect because it sounds like I had no friends because I didn't. So I'd add all these random kids. There's one kid named Glossen from Malaysia, and I would talk to him. I would translate everything on Google Translate. I would send it to him in Facebook Messenger, and we would talk. We even Skyped. He was my age. It wasn't like a predatory thing. And I just loved that. I loved the idea and the concept of
Beautiful.
being able to connect with random people that you never otherwise would have, you know?
And now look at you.
I think it's so interesting, you know? I love talking to random people, even if it doesn't go well, even if someone's like, I hate you. I'm like, okay, dude.
Do you ask why, or do you just go thank you?
It depends on how I'm feeling about myself. Sometimes if I'm like really secure, I'll be like, why? Like nothing you can say can hurt me. But it has backfired. Sometimes I've been like, why? And then they've been like, and told me a lot of things that were hurtful. And I'm like, oh, crap, I should not have said yes. So.
Do you feel sometimes that you picked, I mean, surprising profession, and because it's not your profession fully, right? Because I was following you for a while before I saw the post about your music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, a while. And just like keeping tabs, you know? I'm out there in the Instagram verse.
Of course.
Okay.
Insecurity exists in us all, right? And insecurity, I believe, is natural. But you also pick a profession or take part in a profession that it must be the hardest thing to do.
Oh, it's absolutely sadomasochistic. It's like
I feel like you're your own worst enemy in a sense. Like Instagram is your
Yeah.
friend and your foe.
it's yeah. It's one of those like high school friends, you know? They'll stab you in the back. It's like one of those girls. You never really know. You never know. Yeah, I don't even remember the question you asked me because now I'm thinking about high school girls.
What do you get out of what do you get out of Instagram? What does it give you?
Instagram,
Yes.
I like taking photos of things. I like documenting. It's a nice way to stay in touch. Yeah, like I said, like talking to that random boy in Malaysia. Like I love being in the loop. I think I don't know, it might be like deep rooted from my Idaho days. I'm not sure, but I like being able to see like what my friends are doing. So that's why I haven't like deactivated it.
But also, if you
Also, you just kind of need it, like on a business level. You know, you got to have Instagram to drive, you know, traffic to thing. It's just there's definitely times where I'll like be talking to my team. I'm like, Instagram is stressing me out, blah blah blah. And it sounds so trivial to even say that out loud right now.
but it's not.
But when a lot is riding on anything, it makes it immediately a way bigger deal. You know, it could be like, if I win this race, I get $1 million. Then the race is way more pressure because there's higher stakes. It's like it's hard to view social media the same way that like some girl at UCLA views Instagram. To her, it's, you know, like whatever. It's like you post a cute photo at like Ultra, and then here,
literally
you know,
to keep up with your friends. And that's
yeah,
it.
exactly. Like it's different, you know. There's just more writing on it. I don't know, but at the same time, it has done so many amazing things for me, and I do enjoy it. I do like being like, oh, this is a good photo of me. I want to see what people have to say about this. Granted, it offers way more times than me being like, why don't I look like this, or why don't I, you know, just Instagram.
Are you comparing yourself to yourself or other people?
Not myself. Yeah, I'm like, oh, filtered, I look way better. No, just other people. You know, I feel like it's breeding ground for negative self-talk. Whether it's girls who are like, oh, my waist isn't that small, my butt isn't this big, and my nose isn't slanted, or whatever. You know. Whether it's that or whether it's, you know, like a kid seeing a party they're not invited to. I think that those are all obviously cons, you know? But I mean, like, with everything, there's something else, you know? So it's kind of hard. It's not so black and white, but I don't know. I think that I have, as I get older, a better relationship with social media. It's important to know when to step back so you don't like go crazy and
drown in it,
drive yourself off a cliff.
But that's maturity, right? That's also everything is good.
Yeah,
in the right amount.
self-preservation. It's just, you know, you kind of learn what you can take, and then you kind of, you know, act accordingly.
You don't go to high school or anything like that?
I graduated high school.
Wow, how long ago?
Like 3 months. Like 3 months. I was late. I'm like 19 next month. I should have finished it. I just like when I was acting more, there was like I was on set and you were working 13-hour days every day for 3 months, you know. So
Happy almost birthday.
thank you.
Do you? I want to dive into the music. Melancholia.
Yeah, Melancholia.
I don't even know what that word means.
Well, it's melancholy, but you changed it.
Well, it's like a wordplay. There's a Lars von Trier movie called Melancholia. It's just like it's a wider term for melancholy. It's like the act of being melancholy. It's melancholia, you know. It's like if you're sad, it's sadness. When you're
Yeah.
melancholy, it's melancholia.
I thought you had just
I think it's
made
actually
it
a
up
word. Yeah.
to fit the
Oh
song.
no.
Wow.
No. I believe it is. I mean, like according to the internet. So
The internet knows.
he's shaking his head, so I think that means it is.
He's the smartest guy in the room.
Excuse me?
Sorry. Second smartest guy in the room.
No, he's absolutely smarter than me. I don't even know him, and I already know it.
How do you? What is it about
I'm
him?
like, anyway, my song, my intelligence does not need to be discussed.
No, but I mean, you write these songs yourself?
Yeah, they're
100% yourself?
they're all me.
Dude.
Well, unless I'm in a studio and I like have a word that's too many syllables, and he's like, try ain't. But I mean, like, it's
Where did Melancholia start? Did that
started in my journal.
you journal every day?
Oh no, no, I'm not disciplined enough. I think that I was I think that I was 17 when I started writing it. I'm pretty sure I was. So it was last year, and I was just. It's funny because now that I'm slightly detached from it, it sounds so stupid, but like everything when you're in it, it feels like the end of the world. It just like getting older, like turning 18, the idea of being an adult and having to like be viewed as an adult, you know, saying like those like warm memories you have when you like come home and you get off the bus and you like kick off your shoes and you're like, oh God, like my shoes have been on all day because I've been in elementary school running around like a little tyrant. Then like just those memories of comfort, like all of those nostalgic feelings, I just was like, oh wow, this is really the time of your life when you don't get to pull the same punches you did. Everything is different.
You understand that you're really turning your back and leaving behind a whole other way of life.
Absolutely. It's like taking training wheels off. It was a very daunting thought, you know, and it was also very daunting. Like, well, another thing that let me say came into play was less like melancholy stemming from getting older. A lot of it was just like deep rooted. Like I remember one time when I was like 8 or something, I went to Cabo San Lucas with my mom, and I was on the beach, and there was this like random kid that I became like really, really good friends with. His name is Philip. I still remember this, and he was from Bozeman, Montana, and and then I like forget math the day after I've learned it, so I don't know how I remember all these
This is what
details.
matters.
Yeah, this is really weird. I hope that his family's not. They aren't.
We're on in Bozeman, Montana. Keep going.
Thank you so much. I just remember we like were great friends for like a week. Like we hung out the whole week. We had just gotten there like within 2 days of each other. My mom got along with his dad. Like his sister was really good friends. His mom was really good friends with my mom. We all got along. Then I left and like you never talk to these people again, you know? Mm-hmm. And just that feeling of kind of just like falling your whole life and you're just always brushing up, trying to grab things. And then, you know, it's crazy to me to look at. I'm like getting so deep. I sound like one of those like college students who like hits their blunt and is like, the earth is flat. But like looking at it on like a linear like time on a linear level, like it's like you'll never be back there again, you know, and you'll never like statistically, like, you know, just like probability wise, you'll never talk to this person again. There's so many people in the world. Like what are the odds you're going to walk into Bozeman, Montana and he's there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you're still moving forward at the same time.
Absolutely.
Even though you're letting go of something that was great?
Yeah. And I mean, like, it was we were 8 years old, so the relationship probably would have not lasted if whether it were like the real world and not like a vacation. But just those feelings of like having those people that drift in and out of your life was another big thing that came into play in Melancholia, because it was like it's almost just like a blanket term of all of those feelings of meeting these people and then like people coming in and out. It was very much just me trying to put a name on that feeling and me trying to put a name on everything that made me feel at that moment in time.
How much reflection internally goes into a record like this? Because it sounds like a lot.
Well, yeah, I think absolutely a lot. As much as I think you put as much time into something like as it is important to you, you know? And I thought that it was really important for me. My whole life I've been very bad at putting my feelings into words. I'm a good talker when I have time to write it down, you know? That's why I'm so bad at these, because then you ask me something, I'm like, you know? And I
think
sound
you're
like a
doing great.
crazy man. But with writing, it gives you time to really figure out what you're trying to say. Because when you release something, you're kind of immortalizing it. It's like it's there forever, you know? Everyone's going to be able to hear Melancholia unless I like have a mental breakdown and were to take them. No, you still
But
would be able
even-
to. Like
yeah,
it's
never going anywhere.
Yeah, so it's important to. It was just important to me to make sure that I was saying exactly what I meant.
So how long does it take you to write a record like this?
This one took me like a day, but that's just because you strike while the iron's hot, you know? You gotta
Emotionally?
well, yeah, and like when you know what you're trying to say, at least for me, that's so rare that I am like, okay, I gotta write this down. Because normally I'll have all these things in my head. I'm like, oh, this makes me feel like blue. This makes me feel shaky. Like it's just like they're like visceral reactions, or they're just like things that don't make sense to other people, you know? Because it's just I'm bad at explaining things. So I think when you know what you want to say, it's good to at least lock it down so that you can revisit. But I don't know. I feel like not every song takes me a day. Most songs don't take me a day at all, but this one in particular.
I don't love you. A lyric that stands out to me, I'm my father's son, and maybe that's why I can't love someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's heavy stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I just remember being in the studio and I was like, okay, what about, I was like laughing. We're all laughing. We're writing the song, having so much fun. My producer's like, yeah, we're laughing about something. And I was like, okay, what about this line? He looks at me and he's like, I'm like, yeah. You know, because to me, it's just like my parents have been separated forever, you know, so it was never a thing that was. It's not like I was like a senior in high school and my parents were like, we're getting a divorce. And I was like, you know, like nothing crashed down around me.
How old were you when they divorced?
Like it was while I was being birthed. So like, yeah, never real. I mean, like, of course there were times when I was younger that I'm sure I was like sad about it, but it was easy. It was actually, that wasn't a hard line for me to write at all. Just cause, and it sounds so negative. It sounds like I like hate my dad or something, but it was really just, I wanted to allow myself the space to just be a teenager and say like what I meant, you know, even if it was hurtful. Like I wanted the song to be like, okay, this is how I feel. Like,
But that's your quest for authenticity, right? And that's the only way it works.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just, it was just vulnerability that I wanted to bring to it. I feel like the song can be, everything else is veiled. It's like kind of poetic. It's like I've held the gun, like I've felt the rounds. I wanted there to be something that really like tied you down to a specific, just to something specific, you know, which was my relationship with my dad. I wanted that to just be more personal and less veiled, I could say, like just less lyrical gimmick, like love, heartbreak, blah, blah, blah.
No, this is straightforward.
Like, here we go. You know, this I'm this way because of this.
What's your dad say about the line?
It's funny. I sent it to him and he was like, sounds great. I was like, I'll take it.
Stop there.
I was like, perfect. It's on its way to distribution.
Do you think you're incapable of love?
No, I don't. I think that song is more just me pouting.
Soaking in your
Easy as
sorrows?
that. Yeah, I was just pouting, really.
I don't love you. Is it
I
about?
was pouting. I was like, because I didn't love the person that song's about. Obviously, I don't. I don't love you. I'm like, see, I'm way smarter than that guy. No, I just.
Were they trying to love you at this time?
Yes, they were trying to love me, and
did you love them at any point?
I still love them in a way that was strictly platonic.
Oh yeah, love that friend zone. Yeah,
Yeah, love. Yeah. No, but I do. I just actually I don't really love anymore. It's kind of a. I mean, like I don't have any distant. I don't know what I'm saying. No, I think that song in particular was just about somebody that wanted more of me than I was willing to give. But there are instances where I'm way more willing to give and I get nothing, which was what yours, my second song, was about.
Humbling, huh?
Yeah. It's very humbling, actually. Everyone, sometimes when I'm in interviews, people are like, how do you stay grounded? I'm like, because everywhere I look, I am reminded, whether it's a comment that's like, oh, do this like this. I'm like, oh, I still have a lot to, I have a lot to do and I have a lot to learn. And that's why it's so fun. I think that the ability to work on yourself and kind of like see where you were 6 months ago and see where you are now is very cool to me, which is another reason I like social media, because you can revisit memories,
That's
full circle. I really need a job on this show because I'm just like great with these segues.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
No, but that's evolution, right? And that's changing. But the other thing is, it's crazy that you say you're humbled constantly, whether it's through comments or people not loving you, because
people not loving me.
On the other end, there's like complete and total like admiration and like blind appreciation. Some of the comments are pretty intense.
Oh yeah, they really are, and it's great for my ego sometimes. Sometimes when I'm like, I am the worst, I read a comment that's like, cut me in half and spit on me. I'm like, okay, like great.
When?
Here we are. Yeah, give me a time. Drop a pin. What am I talking about now? I'm talking about.
All I'm saying is like it's humbling, but also flattering. But
absolutely, yeah. It's like Pretty Woman when she's talking to Richard Gere. She's like, it's easier to believe the bad things. I think it's human nature. I could tell you, like, you are God's gift to the world 100 times, and you'd be like, exactly. But then if I'm like, actually, I'm totally kidding. You are the worst. You're going to think about me calling you the worst,
100%.
Or at least I am.
No one cares about good news. People just harp on bad news.
Exactly. It's like I was reading some book about how like we're the only species that feels like, and like we learn from our actions more than once so many times. Like if a dog gets bit by or a cat or something, it learns, it doesn't think back about the time it got bit. Humans are just so quick to think back about something they did and punish themselves like over and over and over again. And I think that that's something that's really easy to do, especially when you're young. So it's definitely something I'm dealing with, but I think it's nice to be open about dealing with that so that other people can be like, oh, I also feel like a dog whose nose got bit by a cat. Thank you. Thank you guys for allowing me to come full circle on that thought. Yeah.
Dude, people see themselves in your music. Are you writing every day? Are you writing often? Like, how many songs do you sit on?
I write every day, yeah.
In some way?
Not everything is good. Actually, the majority is terrible, I think.
That's okay.
But yeah, you just gotta keep writing. That's the thing. I think that I definitely write every day. I write, everything is in my voice notes at all times. I think I have like something like 1,300 voice notes, and I got a new phone like 5 months ago and I lost them all. It's just, yeah, I don't know. If I hear something, like if I hear like a wind chime that makes a cool thing and I'm like, oh, that'd be a really pretty melody or something, I'll just try to
document,
get it.
You said that after Melancholia, which is for sad boy hours, I think that's what you said on Twitter. You said after that. Oh my
God, you guys really did research.
We researched. You said after that we're dancing.
Oh, we are dancing. Yeah. We are dancing.
In which way? Like music?
Where are we at?
With our music. We're dancing with the music. I'm like going on Dancing with the Stars, guys. No, the next one is just it's a banger. It's a banger, plain and simple. It's really just about not caring. And that sounds so vague, but it's about being apathetic. and like allowing yourself to be, it's very much my tantrum song where I'm just like, I sound young and immature and naive, and this isn't how adults act, and like I don't care, it's very much my like, yeah, my tantrum song.
Is it you now?
It's me at times now. I think I switch in and out of versions of myself. And Apathy, which is what the next song is called, maybe. It's I guess a working title.
I like these words though.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I want to name it that or another title. But yeah, it's just all about, to me, it's like the polar opposite of yours. It's just very much like, I'm so bored. I don't care if you don't want me. I don't want you anyway. You're
gonna live no matter what.
Yeah. It's just, it's for dancing. It's a tantrum song.
This is stages of growing up, right? Every song is a different.
Yeah,
stage?
it's funny. People are always like, oh, what they think of it as like chapters, like everything leads up, but it's some days I don't love you all over again, and then other days I am like very independent and I'm like, oh, everything's great, I would never want to be a child again, and then the next day it's Melancholia all over again.
I understand.
So I don't think of it as this comes after this comes after this.
It's waves of emotion.
I slip in and out. It's Lana Del Rey said something really cool about Lust for Life. The interviewer was like, oh, so is this it now? Like, are you have this lust for life? And she's like, no, I don't, like, not per se. It's just, I'm obviously butchering this, but it's just all what I felt at that moment. And I'm going to feel something else at another moment. And then I'm sure I'll come back to this. It's just, I want my art to exist in itself so that you can listen to it whenever, one day you can be this, the next you can switch.
The way it should be.
Yeah.
Do you have a date for this entire EP?
I do not. But I will keep everyone updated.
Are the songs all done?
We're working on it. I'm like the biggest perfectionist in the world, so nothing's ever done to me. I still listen to I Don't Love You, and I'm like, okay, so...
Can we fix this and this?
And then I'm like, oh, yeah. Just like, it's so minuscule. It would be like, oh, I think that this kick needs to come in a little sooner, or oh, I think that this needs to have a little less reverb. It's too ambient here, It's the stupidest stuff. My producer probably, like, wants me dead, but
that's what you pick up on.
Yeah, you gotta, you just gotta.
When is Apathy coming?
Also don't have a date for that because I am literally was talking to my producer today and I was like, hey, maybe we should try this. And everyone over there is probably going to be angry to hear that.
Freaking out?
But yeah, we'll see. It'll be soon, though. It'll be soon. I'm just making sure it's perfect.
Why does Billie Eilish's name come up no matter like what I was reading about you? It's Billie Eilish, Aidan Alexander all the time.
I don't know. Me and Billie are just friends. No, she's a really good friend of mine. I love her dearly. Yeah, I think that, I don't know why, actually. Maybe it
seemed like everything I was reading was like tweets, articles. Her name was in everything.
Yeah, sometimes. Oh, I also think like, I like sent her this one song that I like. It was really just. She sent me this little thing she wrote about me. I sent her this little thing I wrote about her. It was not like
a song about each other,
but like 20 seconds. It was like nothing, serious or anything. And she like played it at the beginning of a few of her concerts, and so then I think a lot of people were like looking up who had sang it, and maybe that's why my name comes up. I don't know.
What did you write about her?
It was like, you guys can listen to it online. It was nothing groundbreaking. It was more just like us messing around, and we were like, boom, boom, ba-doom, doom, me on the piano.
Cool.
I sent her a voice note of it. I probably sounded like a crazy stalker fan, but
how'd you meet her?
You gotta. I actually don't really remember. I think like we DM'd and
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram DM'd, and I was like, hey, I love you. She's like, hey, let's be friends, and I was like, okay.
So you didn't get the I love you.
The rest is history.
She put you right in the friend zone immediately.
Oh, absolutely.
Was this like before she was Billie Eilish?
I think it was. I don't know. She's always been Billie. It was just
but I mean like big like.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think that she had a few songs out. I think. I just was a massive fan of her and her music. I think obviously still am. I think she's so talented.
Incredible songwriter.
I was listening to When the Party's Over on the way here.
Oh.
I was like getting my feels on.
It's good stuff.
I feel like your music would like mesh well.
Oh, that's a big compliment because I think she's the most talented person ever. So.
It's vibey stuff. It's the production on your records. I feel meticulous, right? Big attention to detail because the little things do matter.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm so. I feel like I just know when something is not gonna sound right, to other people.
Yeah.
For example, there was like this little run in Apathy, and I was like, it just feels very wrong in this one. Like it's beautiful. Production-wise, it sounds great, but like I just feel like it. I don't know. It's all just the artist. Everyone does different things. There's just one thing for me is that I'm like super, like anal retentive.
But you should be. You said it before. It's going to be attached to you forever.
Right. Yeah. So that's my logic as well.
It'll never go away.
Needs to be perfect. That's a scary thought.
Aidan Alexander, love and appreciation for you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for bringing your energy and your brain into the studio.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it means a lot.
No, thank you so much for having me. It was actually so fun. I
was gonna say it's funny listening to everything you said about yourself because one of the questions I had was, what are the advantages of being so good looking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there any?
I would have laughed if you had pulled that one. I definitely have lots of privileges.
Do you know you're good looking? Like, are you self-aware enough to like understand?
Oh my God,
like,
I hate this question.
I'm a beautiful person.
My brain's gonna explode. I'm like, no. I think that I don't think that I don't look in the mirror and I'm like, what is that? Some like normally, but I definitely keep myself humble. I'll leave it at that. I think that I am passing. I'm passable.
It has advantages.
Like being attractive, yes, would have. Yeah,
Like one.
I mean,
give me one.
This is a question you have to ask, like,
Who?
Carly Kloss or like who's a really popular male supermodel? Fabio. Yeah.
I'd say you're way
Derek
harder than
Zoolander.
Fabio.
Is that his name? Is it Derek?
Yeah, it is Derek Zoolander. Don't disrespect him.
My sincerest apologies.
Thank
No, I think that I feel like one of my biggest privileges, besides being white, obviously, is my tall privilege.
Yeah,
because I just tower over everyone.
How tall are you?
6'1". It's nice.
That's
I
not
can
even-
intimidate people sometimes just with my height.
Yeah, but is that tall? I mean,
it's
but
tall.
not.
It's tall in comparison to like the average person that I come in contact with.
Yeah, when we take our picture together after this, you're going to be towering over both of us.
There you have it.
I like how you
That's my
put
privilege.
both of us in there.
You're not even close to 6'1", so don't even start with this.
6'4".
6'4", he says.
Yes.
So you stand up for me?
When I come out from behind the desk to take our photo, maybe you'll be lucky enough.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that's how tall I am, guys.
All right.
Now we know.
Yep, you're welcome.
So that's okay. Towering
That's that.
over.
Yeah.
That.
Advantages of being beautiful, Boise, Idaho. Your dad.
Insecurity, my dad. Yeah, we really just
Covered it all.
got all the pressure points. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't cry.
I appreciate you coming in, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I was really nervous the first time I saw your record on Instagram and I listened to it.
Oh no.
I was like, oh my god, is this
It could have been bad. I really could have been one of the little
another
the
Instagram
TikTokers.
boy just
Yeah. Oh,
trying
thank
to
God you
figure
said
it
that
out.
F word, and I'm not the only one who let it slip this time. I was
Just,
feeling
like-
really guilty.
No, I was very happy and very pleased that it's real art and real stories, and
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
you're an actual human being with depth and a
On
soul.
occasion, yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This was
Thank
so fun.
you.
Aidan Alexander. One day we'll get an EP. Thanks
All
for
right.
being
Yeah,
here.
one day. It's coming soon, maybe.
I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you did, please subscribe and also check out our podcast. There's a link in the description, and also comment and like and do things. Other interviews are on the screen somewhere, so click them. Thanks for watching.